I just want to say a warm welcome to all of you and for making time, sign up to listen to the Conocean Sisters. Okay, and today there are actually a panel of 4 people speaking to you, sharing our stories. Okay, so I have got Sister Janet, okay, Sister Angela, zooming in direct from Myanmar, right? Myself, Anthony, and my other co-volunteer, Emily. All right, and among the y'all are also a few of our volunteers who have been with us on the trips or helping us locally. Yeah. Okay, I think before we start, I want to say that in the presence are also Sister Marian. Okay, and why is Sister Marian here? Because today we're going to share about the Canossian Myanmar mission. And Sister Marian, Sister Janet, Sister Angela, they are like the pioneer sisters that went into Myanmar to start the mission. All right, and therefore she is here. Very important, huh? Okay, so I want to have a show of hands. I want to ask you, how many of you have heard of the Canossian Myanmar mission before? Aiyo, then come for what? Okay. Okay, my next question would be I said a few, right? So how many of you, with a show of hands, are familiar with the Conocean Sisters? Or like that, huh? So, okay, now, then the rest never put out hand, So the rest of those who doesn't know, they've never known about the Conocean at all. Then the rest of you means what, huh? Okay, anyway, the reason why I asked is to have a sense of how many of you are familiar with us. Some of you may have just met the Canossian Sisters in church and all that. So that brings me now to a question is, I'm going to invite Sister Janet, okay, to share about the Canossian Daughters of Charity, which is the Canossian Sisters, and then how the whole mission started in Myanmar. Sister Janet?
Okay, thank you, Anthony. He's our captain. Okay, I'm so happy to be here with all of you to spend this evening together. And, strange, right, the word Conocean. Well, it's because our foundress, it's her family name, okay? Magdalene of Canossa, all right? And you can see, she was a very beautiful, noble lady, but she felt the call from God to serve, to reach out to the poor. So finally, in the year 1808, she managed to leave Canossa Palace and her family to go out to start this group of young women gathered together called the Canossian Daughters of Charity. And here you have 2 samples here, Sister Marian and myself, okay? Okay, then, all right, the Conocean family actually is very big, all right? Because Magdalene saw that the boys also needed care. At that time, women can only take care of the girls. So she started a group of young men, gathered them together, and they formed the Canossian Sons of Charity. Okay? And our mission is able to carry on because of so many good lay people. Many are here, and also all of you, I'm sure, are involved in some way in the church ministries. So we are able, therefore, together with this big group of lay Canossians, Canossian educators, Canossian missionaries, and volunteers, to carry on our mission of making Jesus known and loved, especially to the poorest of the poor. Okay, so because of that, it's a call. You see, all of us today, I know some of you, maybe you had other plans, but the Lord called you and you are here, right? So it's actually being attentive to God's call. And Jesus is actually the first missionary sent by the Father to bring God's love to us. And so he continues to call us. And you know, from the last chapter of St. Mark, Jesus sends his disciples, say, go to the whole world. As the Father has sent me, so I also send you. Okay, so St. Magdalene actually heard these words every time she attended Mass. And she felt moved, so deeply moved, that she said that, she also must answer this call. And so she wrote in her memoirs, I wish I could be turned to dust so that I could spread to the whole world to make God known and loved. And this was the zeal that moved her, and that's why we are here today, okay? So you see, Canossians, we are a bit, scattered the dust all over the world, in the 5 continents, in 32 countries. And we came to Singapore in 1894. We are among the early missionaries who arrived, the 4 missionary sisters. And we started our mission in Myanmar officially in 2012. But we started the outreach already way before that in 1996. Okay, so now I invite, since we all are now COVID, we cannot travel, right? So we will do a virtual mission trip. So tighten your seatbelts, and the plane is there flying us over. Okay, so we are flying now to Yangon, and St. Magdalene is there to welcome us. Okay, so when we reach Yangon, those of you, how many of you have been to Yangon? Okay, some of us, right? The biggest and most important icon is the pagoda, the Sri Dagon, because, as you know, Myanmar is a Buddhist country, and it has a very young population. You see that? So Christians and Muslims, we only about 4%, and a scattering of other religions, okay? But unfortunately, right, even though they had some years of democracy under Lady Aung San Suu Kyi, unfortunately, 1st of February this year, the military junta took over again. So now we cannot travel, but never mind, we will make this virtual trip. Okay, are you ready? All right, okay, so let's go. Okay, now we are walking along the streets, the market, and we will always meet early morning, the monks, and these are some of the young Buddhist nuns with a begging bowl every morning. And people are very kind. They will always have food ready to give to them, okay? And then, okay, now we are so blessed. God has called some of the Myanmar young women. So now we have 5 local Myanmar sisters. So how pretty they are. And one novice, the one with the brown blondie, okay? And Sister Angela, she is there. Sister Angela, she is a missionary from Singapore. We are very proud of her. There she is. Hi, Sister Angela. Okay. And also the other sister from East Timor, Sister Joanna da Silva. Okay. So that's the community there, and also some young girls who are aspiring to be Canossians. So please pray that more young people will join. Hopefully not only girls, also young men can become Canossian brothers and fathers. Next. Okay, so what happens is, can we go next? Okay, so now when we first went there, we discovered that there are many poor children. In the villages, there are no schools, so they have to come out. So the Catholic Church started more than 500 boarding houses all over Myanmar. But unfortunately, they are not well cared for. So that's how Sister Angela started the training of educators, all right? So next one, Sister Angela, all right, 2008, right? Okay, so you wanted to give this very good quality care to the kids. So that's how, these, you have trained how many over the years? 10 years. 250. But of course, after 2-3 years, some of them, after that, they move on. But we still have a good number, right? 78, right? Still serving, Okay, in 40 boarding houses over Myanmar, okay. But unfortunately, last year, you had to suspend.
Yes.
Okay, so what do the volunteers do? Just to give you an idea. After that, our volunteers here will tell you their stories. But here you just see some pictures, right? Sister Angela, Sister Calista, myself, we go there every year to help, to teach. Then our volunteers also. So different subjects. You can see reading, writing, English, music, dance, art and craft, faith education, because practically all of them are Catholics. We want to help the Catholics to pull themselves up, okay? And some families also bring their children. You can see in the next slide, the little kids, what do? They help to paint. They help to do some work, gardening and painting, and while their parents do the training of the educators, okay? And the latest group was, before COVID, was in this 12th batch, and you see our volunteers called the Voice Team. Yeah? Here we have Anthony, Emily, and the others in the hall, and they will tell you more about all the things that they are able to do to serve. Okay, next. Okay, so finally, with the help of Charis, so thank you all the representatives of Charis and the donors for the help given to us, we are able to start Canossa Home, our own home. And therefore, we are able not only to have residential training for the educators, every year about 20 to 25 girls from the villages, but also a boarding house or home for children, and especially children from the Nagi cyclone affected areas. So we have about 23 children, and it's like a model boarding house. So now I pass to Sister. Shall I? Okay, Angela. I have done my part already. So let's now listen to Sister Angela. Let's now go to visit her in Canossa Home.
I think nothing beats hearing from Sister Angela, who is on the ground. Now, one thing formidable for me about this lady is that when the situation turns not so favorable, and together with the COVID, she decided to stay. And I think that's in her own words during Igniter's conference. She says, it's like a good shepherd, You're like a leader. You turn around and look at all these people. You cannot leave. What's going to happen to the children? What's going to be the people there? So she chose to stay. And she's on the ground right now, and if ever you contribute, in September you contribute to those clothings, call for clothings and all those things, she's there coordinating and receiving them. So I think nothing beats hearing from the lady herself. So Sister Angela, can you tell us about what's happening over there and what you've been doing during the pandemic, yeah?
Yes. So, good evening one and all, and greetings from all of us here at Canossa Home, Yangon, Myanmar. So nice to be able to participate via Zoom tonight. Since 4 o'clock we didn't have electricity, but 6:15 the electricity came back. Just in time. So we came to Myanmar, bearing in mind that our foundress, the Magdalene, wanted us to do the most beautiful thing in her life, to serve our beloved poor. And our children from Canossa Home come from the very poor villages of the Ayawadi division. The aftermath of Cyclone Nagis in 2018 left them in stark poverty. So with the help of Charis, as Sister has mentioned, and our donors from Singapore, we managed to have our own Canossa Home in 2012, and today we have 23 children in our boarding house. These children go to a nearby government school, 2 doors away from us, and here you can see them with their lunch basket. They prepare lunch, simple lunch, water bottle and umbrella, very important. And they are here ready for school. School here begins at 9 a.m. and ends at 2:30. So what is the timetable like? We live in a home together. We need to help them with discipline. They wake up at 5:30, prepare themselves for morning mass like the good sisters. And the mass is in our parish, which is 2 doors away also from the home, is next to the school. And morning exercise follows after mass. And after breakfast, they help in household chores before going to school. They're very good at cleaning now. And on Saturdays, they do big cleaning and they are able to unscrew the wall fence and clean it very well too. In the evening, we pray the rosary together. And on Fridays, we have adoration and divine mercy prayers. Like all children, they study to complete their homework after returning home from school, guided by 2 teachers, and these 2 are trained by our Formation of Educators program. They enjoy working together, and after gardening in the evening, they have their own games and fun. In fact, they are very good at running. They play better than our boys in Singapore. During the school holidays, they learn to cook and bake, and sometimes they prepare a special treat for everyone. So in the slide, you can see them preparing simple sandwiches just with cucumber and tomatoes, healthy sandwiches. On the 1st of November, on All Saints' Day 2017, we started our Kenosha preschool, and that is the start of our own livelihood program. And by 2019, we already have 50 lively children. In our preschool, we promote gospel values, and we accept all children, regardless of tribes and religions. Our fees are low. We only charge $15 a month, and the poor are sponsored by us. Now the scene changes in mid-March 2020 when we were asked to close all learning centers because of the outbreak of COVID-19. Infection rate here is high and there are no reliable statistics. Our borders were closed and schools were used as quarantine centers. Things became worse later because of the political unrest, and with the loss of jobs and homes destroyed, there were more hungry and poor people. At Kenosha Home, we came up with a project, Keeping Hope Alive. We know the leaders were sad, everybody was worried about what their future will be. And this title, Hope Alive, is to help them move on amidst the challenges to find opportunities. So we did it step by step. Mid-March to May, our educators learned how to use Zoom and IT resources to improve their teaching strategies. Here we are very fortunate. I came back in January. I had a fund from an ex-pupil to buy some laptops and also invested in a smart television, which was very useful. And from June to April 2020, we brought the children back and we homeschooled them and we gave them additional lessons in music, cooking, sewing, and Zoom sessions by our volunteers. The timetable was more holistic. And we wanted also to give them some joy and fun, to knowing that they are kept at home all the time. So we started a homeschool canteen, whereby each student is given a $2 coupon to buy snacks on designated days. So for a month, they had $2 they need to budget, and also they find fun in not having to spend physical money, but coupons and exchanging it for food. They also have fun learning to plant vegetables and harvesting them for our meals. With COVID-19, we also carry out more thoroughly our cleaning at the environment. There were days of enjoying our own fruits too. That year, God rewarded us with a bumper crop of jackfruits. They harvested 22 fruits on one small tree. And they all ate very well. Not only the fruit, but the seed as well, because they're very creative. They boil, they make a special curry, with the seeds, and they ate it. On Easter Sunday, 4th April 2021, we had our own in-house graduation. We call it a graduation because they completed their year. School year is from June till March, but we stretch it out to April for their graduation. They tailored their own graduation dress, a simple blouse and a longi, because they learned sewing. They also were very happy when we gave them report slips. This time, not only with marks that they scored for each subject, but affirmation notes for their effort and personality. The kind that we get in school, whether we are hardworking and we are pleasant and we are respectful. They saw those nice remarks given to them and they were really surprised that they had such good qualities. There was also a baking and cooking competition. Our parish priest celebrated the Mass in our home, and he was our guest of honor for graduation. Now, after the graduation, we send the children back to their homes. Most of them are from poor homes, but they have relatives or single parents, or some even have both parents. And we started with some summer schools in the villages. And we found that the children were all very happy. Children remaining in the villages where they had no school, they were all very happy to attend our summer schools. Even from nearby villages, they came. And at first, we started with the Catholics. The Buddhists came along, and all my leaders were all in charge, and they said, yes, we are teaching and we are ready to welcome you, but we start the day with prayer and we end the day with rosary. Is that okay with you? All the parents said perfectly okay, and the children from the other villages came with their lunch boxes, and they had the summer school for the whole day. So that brings this very important training that we have now. We are training the 13th batch of village educators. And these young ladies will graduate on the 18th this month. Instead of preparing them to take care of children in boarding houses, because most boarding houses are empty, we saw the urgent need to help them with a mission to teach the children in their villages. Our focus now is to develop the qualities of love and care for children and to teach well the core subjects, not forgetting the value-added faith education. Yeah? So we are very fortunate, and we are also very, very pleased with the results of what we have done these 6 months. The girls responded very well. They grew in confidence. They learned skills to teach maths, English, Myanmar, and they also have a lot of fun living together, building up their confidence and their dignity. So with that, I want to thank especially our sisters and volunteers with the support, and Emily will deepen what they have been doing behind the scene. And thank you for having me this evening. God bless you. And I wish you all a very, very happy 200-year celebration. I wish I'm home to be with you, but it's okay. Thank you.
Okay, so it's good to have an ex-principal from MOE trainer to be managing a home like Canossian home. That's why she implemented all those things like affirmation and when like their own graduation, so as to give hope to children during the pandemic. I thank you, sister, for really giving hope to the people. So now comes to my turn. Myself and Emily will share a little bit about what the volunteers do. If you notice right there, it says volunteers from Singapore, and a few of the names appear like Voice, M3, Papango, Christmas Cheers. These are all little different groups of volunteers who goes over to Myanmar and helped Sister Angela in different things. So since I'm speaking, Voice must appear first lah. So what does VOICE stand for? Can I just tell you a little bit about it? VOICE stands for Volunteer, VO, Volunteers International, I, of Kenosha, C, for education. So the whole focus of what VOICE does is really going over there and imparting life skills, later I'll say a little bit about what else we kind of teach, like English lah, hygiene lah, all those things, housekeeping. And then there's another group called M3. They are actually one of the older groups that helped Sister Angela and Sister Janet in their earlier years, when, especially in the
fundraising also.
Yes. So M3 stands for Magdalene Myanmar Mission. Why Magdalene? Because the founders of Kenosha is Saint Magdalene of Kenosha, right? So therefore M3. Papango, very cute lah. It's an offshoot of M3. Why called Papango? Very cute. I can say got time lah. I say lah. Because they need a name. Someone brought a papaya and a mango. Then they decided, just call Papango, okay? And that's cute. One thing is they are very creative. Founded by a couple, Wilson and Jill, and they have friends like doctors who then go to Myanmar and give like clinics, and those things. Is he here? That I can't remember his name. Dr. Lawrence. Okay. So he goes to the villages and different parts of Myanmar and do give free medical kind of services. Yeah.
They call it pop-in clinic.
Pop-in clinic. You pop in. Yeah. Okay, then Christmas cheer, the name itself tells you they go over there when, of course, pre-COVID, and to bring Christmas parties and things to the villages. So if you ask me, those people like Christmas cheers and Papango, they really go out beyond the Kenosha home to other villages, yeah. Whereas for Voice, we quite stationed in helping the educators. There's now a sister talk about different batches of educators, right? Training them to go and serve in a boarding school. So we go and do like CCA like that, training to the educators, and also take to kind of teach the children, there's resident children in school. So the things that we do as a collective, groups of volunteers, is formation of educators. Those are the training, the badges of people to be helping in the boarding school. So they need to be, we train them things like later on like English, all right? So things like courses in English, math and science. Why is that important? Because when they go and help in the boarding houses, they are looking after younger children, school-going children in Myanmar. And when the school-going children in Myanmar comes back to the boarding homes, they can also be a little bit like tuition teacher lah. So in a way, we teach them, and then they can in turn teach their own children in time, yeah? So there's also this thing called youth leadership training, not done by my team, but by the other teams. Youth camps, children camps, the Christmas cheer, I mentioned about it. Now, there's a vocational training that the Conocean Sisters started, yeah, in Namji, right? Taungji, is it? That's Ilik Inglay. That's where they train girls for the hospitality industry there, so that they can get employment. Yeah, so this is hospitality. So they teach hospitality. Not yet now. Can you go back? And then, no, that correct. So how many years ago did we start the preschool, Sister Angela? 2 years?
2017.
Okay, so about 4 years ago, Canossian also have kindergartens here. So Sister Angela started a preschool there. All right, so there are preschool teachers that also, when we go over there, and there are special teachers that go over there and help them and train them as well, yeah? Faith formation and arts and craft. Okay, so maybe the subsequent slides are just photographs of some of the activities, yeah? Christmas cheers lah, sculpturing lah, carol singing lah. Oh, this one is really going down to the villages, and but the Christmas cheer, when they have parties, or usually they say about 100 children, but when they go there, the different neighboring villages may even come, and there's large, so there are Buddhist children there, that doesn't matter, and they will enjoy. So this Voice team, where and this is that year we have been there since 2015. Different years, I go once a year, other than the last 1 year and 2 years, because of COVID, we didn't go. The rest of the time since 2015, we've been going once a year. I want to especially acknowledge an ex-colleague of mine who is in the room right now, because when I was there and we're teaching situational English, I remember she didn't follow me, and also partly because you go there got insects, so she doesn't like insects. So Augustine, but she helped me came up with all those situational scripts. So I just want to say thank you to Augustine. We're still using every time we go over there. Yeah. Okay. So next slide. Gabriel there, and Rodney, Emily, and Juliet over at the side. We all take care of different departments. I take care of confidence building, English, but we have Juliet that takes care of housekeeping. The reason why we teach them housekeeping, so that when they go to the boarding houses, the educators know how to teach also the children how to take care and tidy up their places. I've got Gabriel, he's the handyman, the technical guy, together with Rodney. So they will do the painting, and if you notice on the bottom right, they make use of all those loose piping or extra piping, and to create something useful for Sister Angela. I think these are clothes hanger, is it for sunning your clothes, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, Sister Angela will tell us what she needs. So become the handyman, handy woman down there, other than teaching. Yeah. And I've got Auntie Emily on the top right, on the extreme left of the top right picture. That she's nearly 80 years old, but she still goes. Okay, this when she was with us at time, probably late 70s lah. So she does gardening because that's what she does best. And after that, she also teach them cooking. So when Sister Angela talk about baking and all that, other than Sister Joanna who knows how to teach the children, some of the children bake kueh, nyonya kueh, and they sell down there, that time. Okay?
One day.
One day. Okay. So not bad, huh? The Myanmaris get to eat local Singapore kueh. Next. Okay, and this was a case whereby when the pandemic struck and then we couldn't go over. So what did we do? Sister Angela then decided to say that, okay, why don't we do Zoom sessions in English? In this particular case was the situational English that I was telling you that Augustine helped, and we were teaching role-playing in life. But in the case of a pandemic, we kind of like did over Zoom. And because of my past year of going there, doing face-to-face, and one of the FED, those who went through my lesson, actually stayed on to help Sister Angela. So she became the interpreter and was helping the children. And that helped us, situation like go and see a doctor lah, be at the restaurant lah. So it's like some common words that you need to use lah, have a fever lah, rash lah, all those things. So as common words that they could find useful in life, yeah? Okay, so now I'm going to ask Emily. I've been talking. So Emily, you continue and share the rest of the stuff.
Okay, so during these 2 years, and we could not travel to Kenosha home, we kept in touch with the girls via Zoom. Anthony taught situational English. Veronica, who's another volunteer, who's an English teacher, and I taught the children phonics. And we also introduced them to different types of poetry, acrostic, shape, haiku. The girls were very creative, and they enjoyed the lessons. So other activities that we do, that is before the COVID, we had sessions for those who are interested to know what the voice team and the other teams who go to Myanmar. That's the first picture. And then we also manage a stall at the Caris Humanitarian Forum and Fair to showcase the various volunteer groups and to sell handicrafts and handmade rosaries for fundraising. So this year, we also participated in the Inictus Social Mission Conference that was on 4th September. And you see at the bottom right, or here, right here, okay, these are all handmade rosaries from jade and from different stones and wood that is from Myanmar. And they are available for purchase at Cana. So do support us. And there are some samples. Okay, Cana is on the level 2 of Catholic Center. And there are some samples of the rosaries here. Later you can come up and have a look. Yeah. So what other things that we do? We almost every 2 months, we will help to pack foodstuffs and clothing that contributed, stationeries, children books, even masks and sanitizers for shipping to Myanmar. So over in Myanmar, on Myanmar side, the sisters and the girls, they help to sort out all the items that are received. And they also pack rice and provisions and care packs that were received from donors to share with the children and the poor families in the neighborhood and in remote villages. Okay. So last year, on 26 December, we had a Christmas tea party with the children, the educators, unfortunately have to be via Zoom now. The children were really lovely. They put up skits, enacting lessons that they learned during the situational English classes, and they presented and they showcased their poems, and they sang very lovely carols. And we had a lot of fun together. And, well, we miss them. We miss them a lot, sister. Yeah. So the only way, in a sense, prayer is the only comfort at this moment that we can extend to the children and to the Conocean Sisters in Myanmar. So our MP3 friends hold monthly rosary on the first Fridays. And the voice team, we have a rosary every 13th of the month. So you are warmly welcome and invited to join us to pray for peace and for safety and welfare of the people in Myanmar, together with our Conocean sisters, sometimes even from worldwide. And so if you're interested, please do leave your contact number or your email to pray with us. Thanks.
Okay, I think next one will be, So sister, over to you.
So you see these girls, pre-COVID times, this is a photo of them in their native tribal costume doing a dance. And when they received these gift packs, educational toys and stationery from our schools in Singapore, they were so happy that they posed in order to say thank you. Okay? And really we want to continue to thank God for all his blessings. In spite of the problems and the troubles that are on, there are still so many kind-hearted, loving and generous people. And I really feel to say this tonight, that Singaporeans, we are very blessed, right? We are living in a very safe environment, and we are protected from disasters and so on that other parts of Asia and the world are experiencing. And the beautiful thing about Singaporeans is that in spite even of downturns and all that, you're still willing to, share, still willing to give. And I think it's something beautiful we have to thank God for, okay? So I want to take this opportunity to thank all of you. And here are our girls. Can you see? Sister Angela is right behind. Oh, that occasion I was there. Sister from Myanmar, she's dressed in lay clothes on your left-hand side. And all the children there, they want to wish you and to thank you in Myanmar. So come on, volunteers, voice, can we all say together? Thank you in Myanmar. Jesu Timbade. Yeah. So let us continue to pray for one another. All the children. Sister Angela, want to say something?
Yes, I want to say the same words. Jesu Timbade. And we really, really am very grateful. Today we will manage to pack the boxes of things and share with other invitations here too. So thank you very much for all that you are doing, and with great love for us. Thank you.
And St. Magdalene invites all of us to make Jesus known and loved wherever we are. So even though you cannot go abroad, we are still missionaries, okay, within Singapore in many, many ways, to your families, neighborhood, to the migrant workers, especially to people working in our families. Those domestic workers. I think many families, many of us have domestic workers, and we thank God that they are here to help us. So I really think, they are also people we need to reach out to, right? Okay.
I think in terms of the formal sharing, that's it. We have intended to keep it like half an hour and maybe 15 minutes or so for Q&A, but I also overspoken, yeah. But I think I want to open the floor to the floor for questions. Maybe I'll ask first, Sister Marian, do you have anything you want to say? Obo? I know it's impromptu, I never put it on the spot.
Sister Marian has been in Myanmar for
sister.
14 years. She went into 2006.
Well, what can I say? Mission, just taking from the last talk, mission is something, as it was said there, it's not going there for an ego trip or a pilgrimage or just to have fun. It's really a call, and I'm sure many of you have a little of that seed, to want to bring joy or to give some cheer or to give some love to those who are a little bit underprivileged. So when I went to the mission, it was with this hope, with this feeling. I never thought to be a missionary in the first place. I thought I would live and die as a Canossian in Singapore. But when the opportunity came, I didn't refuse. I just went, as they say, not expecting anything. Just go there and see what is there, and live, give, share, care, and just minister. And yes, we give, we teach them, we give them many good values, but they also teach us a lot. And one thing I say about Myanmar, the country is a very, very challenging place to be with. But I learned a lot in terms of resilience and relationship. They are good in this, and they are very sensitive to the people around them. Of course, there are 135 ethnic groups. Can you beat that? 135 ethnic groups. You just relate to all of them. And they share common borders with 5 countries, India, Bangladesh, Cambodia, Thailand, China. So they are a country with lots of resources and also a good variety of ethnic people to relate to: Indian, Chinese, Thai, Cambodian. Can you imagine? Yeah, but it's a very, very challenging mission. And I extend this to all of you, those who wants to come and experience what it is to give, care, and share. Come to Myanmar, come to the Kenosha.
Whoa.
Thanks.
I wish we could charter a plane right now and go, right?
When we can, we also got the Ichi want to travel, but yeah. Okay, I want to open to the floor. Raymond tell me I got can have leeway, a bit more time. Okay, maybe a few questions. Question you can direct to any of the sisters or Sister Angela if you all want to. Question? Especially those who doesn't know much about the Canossians.
Say something.
Huh? Boa.
How about asking, they want to hear stories.
Stories.
Can I ask some of the other voice volunteers? You have any story to tell? We Singaporeans are so used to our comfort. Aircon everywhere. and over there, it's different, right? Come on, there's not much time. Oh, Gabriel.
Yay.
Okay, just a few words, then Juliet come. For me, I think since we went through NS, I mean, jungles and forests are nothing new for Singaporeans like us who went through NS. But still, despite going through all that, it's different when you go into Myanmar, you listen to the stories, you hear the background. But I went there thinking that I'm giving, but eventually, actually, I mean, to keep it short, there's so much love and sharing that you see from the kids. Actually, I end up being the benefactor instead of the one that is giving. So it has benefited me a lot, changed the way I look at life, changed the way I see things.
what should I say? I got started after I decided to retire from my corporate job, HR. I was in human resources, and Sister Janet, whom I have known over the years, I was at Kenosha Convent and St. Anthony's Convent. And with more time on my hands, I decided what I could do to give back in terms of serving the community. And Sister Janet shared with me that they've started a mission in Myanmar, and I said I jumped at it. And of course, Sister Angela, of course, I asked her, what can I do? Actually, I can't do anything that would bring value to the children at the Canossian home. And she said, you could, Sister Angela, thank you. She said you could do housekeeping, you know, and that was a great suggestion. So that's how I started. You wouldn't believe it. I was very touched, you know, the first trip where they would welcome us, the children, and they would dance and sing for us. And then we would stay there for a week. And as my teammates here mentioned, we had different programs for them throughout the week. And the last day, they would sing for us, and they would do skits and all that, what they have learned, actually. It's not just going there and teaching, but they would then play back, and it's lots of laughter and lovely. I didn't believe myself. I was crying at that farewell party that they organized for us. You know, they are such beautiful children, really very touching. And I'm sure we would all, as Gabriel said, we actually benefit from them as well. Not just giving, but we receive a lot of love. They are so simple, but they really appreciate what we have done for them in small ways, in our own ways. Yeah. Thank you.
I think Rodney wants to share something. Come, Rodney.
Oh. Okay, just to let you know, I joined the mission because previously, every time you hear about mission, you're talking about going overseas, building schools and all that, you know, or even digging drains and making toilets. But in this mission, I find that what we do is only quite relaxing. Okay, it's only a 1 week stay overseas just to teach people, you know. And I guess it is meet my requirements actually in a mission. Okay, having said that, I mean, if any, I believe I've given out some of this form. So if anybody is interested, please fill in your contact. We can add you into our voice group chat mail. Okay, then you can see what's happening. Okay? All right, before you all leave, please pass this.
Yeah.
If you all need pen or what, we have.
And maybe I will, ask you, if you are interested to be on the Zoom prayer, rosary prayer with our sisters and the educators in Myanmar, you give us your contact so that we can let you know, we can give you, there's Florence here, who is in charge of the first Friday Zoom rosary prayer at 8:30 p.m., and Anthony, who is in charge for the 13th of the month, 13th of each month, 8:30 p.m. rosary prayer, together with Sister Angela, the sisters, and the children and the educators in Myanmar. So you can just fill up and say prayer, okay? And we will give you the link. Yeah.
So you give us your phone number if you
Yeah.
can.
If you need a pencil or pen, Julia, they have said, can you just raise your hand?
I just want to quickly say that you give me your phone number and give me permission to add you to the group. This is the voice chat, group chat, WhatsApp. Promise you don't have daily inspiration, good morning, I don't have. because I tell them cannot. Only for Canossian news, church news, and maybe news from Myanmar lah, and prayer lah, huh? So won't have spam, okay? I know you're very scared. I'm also very scared. Huh? Okay. I'm mindful that we've come to the end. So, but if any of you still want to ask any question, you can talk to us here lah. Maybe just for another few more minutes. All right. So I want to thank all of you for all your time. Maybe sister want to say something?
We just want to end with a prayer.
Yes, please.
Okay. So since we have been saying that, we feel the concern for our brothers and sisters in Myanmar. So let us unite ourselves with Sister Angela and all our sisters and the people in Myanmar who are suffering at this moment, and ask the Lord to bless and protect them, keep them safe, and grant peace to the nation, to the peoples. We thank you, Lord, for this gathering. We thank you for your love for us and for the mission spirit which you have implanted in all of us. We ask you, Jesus, as you sent the disciples to mission, so now you are sending us on our mission to our families, to our neighborhood, to our nation, and even to the world, even though it could be through WhatsApp, through Facebook, through so many other means, and through Zoom. We thank you for this time spent together, for our friends here. We ask you to bless all of us and our families far and near. As we pray together, the prayer Jesus taught us, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. And may the Lord bless us and grant us a peaceful night and a safe journey back home. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Okay, thank you.